This next story begins with a truly horrific tragedy, but it's not about that. It's about something else entirely: strength, love, and most importantly, hope. Just a warning, parts of this story are difficult to watch and may not be suitable for all children. This is the story of 22-year-old Jacqueline Durand, a college student and experienced dog sitter in North Texas who was mauled by two dogs. We have never before seen video of her rescue that saved her life, but not before the dogs changed her face forever. We have followed Jacqueline's recovery for the last 2 months. She still has a long road ahead, but she told us, "I have a story to tell, and I want people to hear it." She hopes you'll listen. Jacqueline Durand's face was nearly erased 2 days before Christmas, and 1 day before her 22nd birthday. It happened on a dog-sitting trip that went horribly wrong in the Dallas suburb of Coppell. First responders' body camera footage shows the 2 dogs who attacked her, holding police at bay and leaving Jacqueline agonizing for help. The dogs, in the instant she opened the door, were not like the lovely dogs Jacqueline said she had met once before. A medic eventually rescued Jacqueline and rushed her to a trauma center in grave condition. She had lost 30% of the blood in her body. It was a blessing she was found alive at all. When the dogs rushed her, the door was left open, triggering a security alarm at the home of Justin and Ashley Bishop. The Bishops told police the dogs came from rescue organizations and had no history of violence, but the words "crazy dogs" on a sign about a sleeping baby on their front door is one indicator of negligence, according to a lawsuit filed by Jacqueline's attorney, Chip Booker. He believes the sign suggests the Bishops knew the dogs had acted aggressively toward people at the front door. The Bishops turned down an interview request, but stated they were heartbroken.
Are you the only one inside? Is the big dog right next to you?
Lucy, a German
Police videos show how cautious officers were while trying to contain the dogs, particularly Bender. At the hospital, emergency surgery lasted 7 hours. Jacqueline had to be resuscitated on the trauma table multiple times. When her father, John Durand, first saw her, he said her whole face was bandaged. "I just kept telling her that she was a miracle and that she was going to be restored." 7 weeks after the attack, we met Jacqueline. Doctors had grafted skin from her buttocks and forehead to begin rebuilding her face. Jacqueline told us she's no longer scared to show who she is now and has a message for dog owners. "I want her dog owners to know their animals and be able to communicate with their sitters how they are." After 60 days in the hospital, Jacqueline was released to a champion's welcome from doctors, nurses, and even first responders. Her own dogs were waiting, as was her boyfriend. Jacqueline doesn't want to be seen as a victim, but rather an example. Maybe that's why she didn't hide the scars that showed the more than 800 bites on her body. We've watched her healing process over the course of a month, and the progress has been notable. Her spirits are up because she feels like she's finally regaining control. Therapy is a full-time job for Jacqueline now. Her mouth is stretched a millimeter at a time so she can eat more, and countless surgeries are to come. She says thinking about years more of surgery is not fun, but she's putting her faith in the doctors. There is a lot of hope in Jacqueline and her family. In fact, she still has a place in her heart to love dogs. She'd been a dog sitter for 7 years and still dreams of working with animals. She mentioned possibly going into animal welfare, but her biggest dream is to be a dog trainer. She has her senses back now. She can walk, talk, smell, hear, and see. As her father said, she's going to be fine.
She was even found alive at all. When the dogs rushed her, the door was left open, and that triggered a security alarm at the home of Justin and Ashley Bishop. Have you had any problem with dogs? It's zero. The Bishops told police the dogs came into their home from rescue organizations. I have 3 kids, once they're years old. I know, no history of violence, none. But the words "crazy dogs" on a sign about a sleeping baby hanging on their front door is one indicator of negligence. That is according to a lawsuit filed by Chip Booker, Jacqueline's attorney. The warning on the front door, to me, I think, suggests that the Bishops knew that both of these dogs had acted aggressively to people arriving at the front door. You're trying to build this case of negligence. What do you have to prove that? What we have to prove is an examination of the dogs that we did after this attack, which we believe shows that the dogs were dangerous and had vicious propensities. The Bishops turned down a request by CBS News for an interview, but in a statement they said they were heartbroken about what happened. The police videos show how cautious officers were, even when trying to contain the dogs, particularly Bender. Once at the hospital, emergency surgery lasted for 7 hours before Jacqueline's parents, John and Shirley Durand, heard from one of the doctors. She had to be resuscitated on the trauma table multiple times. Describe for me the moment you first saw her after the attack. I was just glad to see her alive. Her whole face was totally bandaged. They had her in an induced coma for over a week. Must have been somewhat deceiving because the bandages really covered up the worst of it. It did. It really did. I just kept telling her that she was a miracle and that she was going to be restored. She will be. When we met Jacqueline 7 weeks after she had been in the hospital, doctors had grafted skin from her buttocks and her forehead to start the process of rebuilding her face. I feel like I didn't ask her this, so I think that it's time to show who I am now, and I can't be scared of it. What are you hoping to get across with this interview? I want for dog owners to know their animals and be able to communicate with their sitters how they are. These are the same dogs who you had met a week earlier that you said were lovely. You know, lovely one week and killers the next. How do you square the two? Honestly, I'm speechless. They don't change their attitude from the time that I eat them to the time that I go there for the first time. Jacqueline was released from the hospital after 60 days. Leaving there was a brave and spirited 22-year-old woman deserving of the applause that she got from the doctors and nurses. When she got home, first responders gave her a champion's welcome. I really appreciate it. Her dogs were even waiting, and so was her boyfriend. Jacqueline doesn't want to be seen as a victim, but rather an example. And that may be why she didn't hide the scars that showed the more than 800 bites on her body. So, when I first interviewed you, you could open your mouth about 5 millimeters. Yes. Now you're up to 21 millimeters. Yes. We've had the benefit of watching you heal over the course of a month, and it is notably different, better. Are you seeing that yourself? Yeah, I am seeing. And what does that do just for your own spirits? I think it really lifts me up compared to where I was. Yeah. Because I just felt so helpless in the hospital, and being at home, I knew I was going to heal more here than I could at the hospital. Therapy is a full-time job now. Her mouth is stretched 1 millimeter at a time so that she can eat more. Countless surgeries are to come. When you hear 1 to 3 more years of surgeries, is that daunting for you? It's not fun to think out, but I also think out how amazing the doctors are. And so I'm putting it in their hands to help me. You should know that there's a lot of hope in Jacqueline and her family. In fact, in looking to the future, guess what? There is a place in her heart still to love dogs. She'd been dog sitting for 7 years and still dreams of working with animals. The last we spoke, you mentioned maybe something involving animal welfare. I was thinking dog training, because that's dog training. Yes, that's my dream, but I'm not sure where life is going to take me yet. She has her senses now. She can walk, she can talk, she can smell, she can hear, and she can see.
In addition to the love from her family, there is 24-year-old Nathan, her boyfriend of 3 years. He recently recovered from cancer, and Jacqueline often drove him and stayed with him throughout his treatment. Now, he says, he's grateful to have the opportunity to show her the same level of love and care. Jacqueline told us she would like to hear from the bishops and wants an apology. She also says she hasn't been paid in full for the service she went there to perform. In their statement, the bishops told us they would never put anyone in harm's way. A Texas judge ordered that both of the dogs be euthanized. Jacqueline's story is a powerful reminder of resilience and the human spirit's capacity to heal. While the physical scars may remain, her determination to advocate for others and move forward with her life shows that love and hope can truly overcome even the most tragic circumstances.